Welcome to the David Show Midstream Reading Series for June 2024. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
Victory! Okay. My name is Paul Mattis. This is my second time formally hosting, and we have anyone in the room who's not reading, so this is a success. Thank you for coming. The bathrooms are behind me. And I get to read whatever I want to start with. So I'm going to.
Excuse me, could you
Yes.
put this down?
Is that any better?
It is.
All right. And I'll enunciate. First one is a little tiny one. Classified ad. Gentleman who does not mind dogs seeks a lady who does not have one, so the limits of his tolerance need not be further tested. So the longer one. The line break. There is a special tone we sometimes use for reading line breaks aloud. Non-committal and flat. It does not exist in real life. Anyone who talked like that to a Starbucks barista would be tagged as a weirdo. Still served coffee, but at a careful distance. It gets worse between stanzas, becoming a longish pause. If drawn out too much, it makes people wonder if it might be some strange, ambiguous ending, another poem without any proper emotional release. That might push the barista to consider having you politely ejected. The profit on your grande decaf iced cold press being far less than the damage from freaking out an entire line of normal customers. Out on the sidewalk, you wonder if poetry is like life, only more so, then why is reading it aloud often so much less so? Perhaps it has something to do with having to leave so much room at the top of the page for cream. Okay. Danika Stegman's second book, Appellation, was released by 1111 Press November 1st, 2023. Her first book, Pilot, in 2020, was published by Spork Press. She is a 2023 recipient of a grant from the Barbara Deming Memorial Fund. She's an assistant editor for Conduit and does light bookkeeping for Phonograph Editions. Along with Jace Britton, she co-curates the virtual collaborative reading series, It's Copperhead Season. Danika Stegman.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you all for being here. I am going to read one long poem from my book Ablation. When I'm given 15 minutes, I like to read this one because it is approximately 15 minutes of reading. A little less, 14. A thing that might be helpful to know is this book was written after my mom passed away unexpectedly in July of 2020. I was also a mother to a daughter, newly a mother to a daughter. So the book grapples with both of those things, as well as sort of a traumatic childhood and sorting through that. So I'm just going to warn you that's in there. If you like this poem, it's called Relentless, and there is an online version that is in fact relentless, where if you continue to click the word relentless on the computer screen, it'll just keep generating lines, some of which are partially written by computer code. And I'll tell you about that if you're interested after the reading. Okay, so the poem is called Relentless. It has an epigraph, which is something that the therapist I was seeing after my mom's death said to me. Relentless. To survive, you became relentless with yourself. I scrub the baseboards until skin peels from my fingers, relentless. I crack my knuckles when interrupted, relentless. I count ounces, relentless. I tick syllables, relentless. I clench my teeth, relentless. I dissect my grief, relentless. I rake leaves until my back bows, then brace my pregnant body against a chair to cross the room, relentless. I pick at my face until my bones ache, relentless. I worry stones, relentless. I hold my breath, relentless. I black out, relentless. I lose hours, relentless. I lure demons just to starve them, relentless. I plot escape routes from moving vehicles, swelling crowds, burning houses, relentless. The first draft of my first book was an island of couplets that became menacing in its uniformity, relentless. I'm a contortionist, relentless. I'll fill out your court forms and your government documents, relentless. Black and white thinking is a coping strategy that can become maladaptive and no longer serve the trauma survivor, relentless. I tackle friends into cars, relentless. I anticipate the needs of others, relentless. I give unsolicited advice, relentless. I transform desire into action, relentless. I'm a chariot, relentless. I'll tell you where to step and how to speak, relentless. My grocery list follows the floor plan of the store, relentless. I reposition the orange juice behind the Brita pitcher, relentless. Towels must be folded long side first, short side second, relentless. Each dish is strategically placed, relentless. I make reservations I regret, relentless. I chart moon phases, relentless. I plan funerals, relentless. I white knuckle my tender contents through snowstorms just to reach you, relentless. During a performance review, I ask my supervisor, in what universe am I not exceptional, relentless? That's a true story. I compare my being to the body of the crucifixion of Christ, relentless. I scrape skin from my brother's slender ribs, dragging him from the lazy river, relentless. The brother I didn't pull from the water says the Joy Division song, She's Lost Control, is about me, relentless. I couldn't trust the people who created my life, so anyone and no one can be trusted, relentless. I'm clinging to the nearest passerby, relentless. No minor shift in my periphery or your fascia goes uncatalogued and unseen, relentless. I shear through sheaths of tissue you think you hide in, relentless. I prefer the company of trees, relentless. The person who held me until I fell asleep was the same person who left me in the care of strangers for hours into the night so she could buy drugs, relentless. A 10-year-old girl carrying the delicate weight of my infant sister against my shoulder, I paced the hallway, relentless. At 8, I begged the grocer for scraps of bread and a package of Carl Buddick lunch meat, relentless. I bruise fruit, relentless. I key cars, relentless. I set fires, relentless. I cradle a tequila bottle and ghost ride hotel elevators floor to floor, relentless. I shatter glass, relentless. I piece shards, relentless. I cull the fold, relentless. I live in an open field, relentless. I'll repopulate your wasteland with native flora and fauna, relentless. I strip gristle and fat from still warm flesh, relentless. I knew if I wanted anything good in my life, I'd have to make it myself, my mom says, and I understand that she gave me what allowed me to survive her, relentless. If the text must be corporeal, I must insist on its being vaginal, relentless. I must insist on cunnilingus, relentless. If we have to name the animals and other totems, I'll have to insist on gender-neutral and/or feminine pronouns, relentless. I sing Knife Party by the Deftones while brandishing the biggest chef's knife in the knife block, relentless. I break rules, relentless. I beg forgiveness, relentless. No one is one thing or another, but everything at once, relentless. I spiral like a galaxy, relentless. I swarm like starlings, relentless. I'll repeat myself until you hear me, relentless. I spread cold dark roots to anchor me upright, relentless. I hoard my horrors in the half-forgotten husks of viceroys, relentless. I swallow your debt and emerge triumphant from its depths, relentless. I intend to win at all costs, relentless. I vomit in your lap mid-sentence, relentless. I consider filleting the flesh from my body in strips in a clawfoot bathtub, relentless. I experience difficulties differentiating my feelings from the feelings of others, relentless. I lie through my teeth to please you, relentless. We're all basically anorexic, relentless. I deny the mind what it desires, relentless. I bask in what the mind desires, relentless. I devour self-help tomes, relentless. I weep through yoga sessions, relentless. I'm humbled before the divinity of your pantheistic nature deities, relentless. I transmute pain into fury, relentless. I transmogrify what's destroyed me into what sustains me, relentless. I skin slip from self to self, relentless. I regard your inability to hold space for raw emotion as cowardice, relentless. I resent your deep-seated fears as failures of the spirit, relentless. My childhood friends hang themselves from stark trees when the solstice can't return the light fast enough, relentless. I've got angels destroyed in car crashes, relentless. I've got angels who scratch at their faces, relentless. I panic, relentless. I clutch a wooden spoon for the seizures, relentless. I rush from stairway to stairway, relentless. The rage that lives in my body might fuel a small planet, relentless. I sigh to keep my breath moving, relentless. I tether my core to the core of the earth, relentless. I'll bear the grief of others like a reservoir, relentless. The river is ravenous, relentless. The forest is ravenous, relentless. Where is your mother, relentless? I sew over faces, over wildflowers with thread, relentless. I whisper into paper folds, relentless. I doze in a chair at the bedside of your dislocated bones, relentless. I allow my intuition to flow through me, relentless. I unfurl energy in coils, relentless. I carry burdens across decades to lay them at your feet, relentless. A mother-eating presence manifests in my house, relentless. I swallow nettles, relentless. I dispel a hail of needles, relentless. When the goddess approaches, she wears the face and feathers of a crow, relentless. A woman is ash. A woman is without time, relentless. I fill notebooks with imaginary birds, relentless. I possess a healing machine, relentless. I die to the past every moment, relentless. I'll keep you safe, sweetheart, relentless. I fall to my knees in the hedges behind the car wash, relentless. When I say God, I mean a field of energy, relentless. When Leonard Cohen says, the stars eat your body, he means the stars eat your body, relentless. We're alive in the world at the same time, relentless. I ask questions because I don't know the answers, relentless. I salvage brick, relentless. I trim wicks, relentless. I kiss bejeweled lips, relentless. I'll make the ring fit, relentless. I am filled with a depthless longing, relentless. I can't be here in my body, relentless. I watch you craft ghosts from pantyhose and polyfill on a loop, relentless. I bathe in patchouli and bath salts, relentless. My blood pressure is a study in diminishing returns, relentless. I ingest Arctic root extracts to dampen my nervous system's hypersensitivity to external stressors daily, relentless. I disintegrate with minimal provocation, relentless. I etch my list of minerals into a meteorite, relentless. Siren sound, relentless. Crows call, relentless. Falcons hunt the freeways, relentless. Moss lines the subways, relentless. Watch the rails shine, relentless. Throw rugs writhe in a simulacra of ferns and palm fronds, relentless. The universe unfastens in infinite permutations, relentless. The body is an animal that desires survival, relentless. I wash menstrual blood from my hands, relentless. I fill my cup, relentless. I fill my cup to brimming, relentless. A primordial void pools at the base of my spinal cord, relentless. I open portals I can't close, relentless. The eye is lidless, relentless. The eye unhinges, relentless. The eye is an electric cell, relentless. Restring me like pearls, relentless. Soak my brother in water when his bone growth outpaces his muscles to aching, relentless. Soak my brother in alcohol, relentless. Dress my sister in wisps of smoke, relentless. We are a haunted people, relentless. Where is the mother of your body, relentless? Is your goddess a black hole like mine, relentless? Compaction is a force that increases a core's density via compression, relentless. Manifestation is a force that confesses a core's destiny via accretion, relentless. Any act of creation is simultaneously an act of annihilation, relentless. I turn to prayer, relentless. I turn from prayer, relentless. I negate the nothing, relentless. I'm trying to heal and to surrender, relentless. I expect disaster, relentless. I brace myself, relentless. I wash dishes by hand because a vessel is a promise, relentless. A vessel is a lesson in release, relentless. I know a woman who shovels sugarcane waste and shreds plastic for paper fibers, relentless. I know a woman who washes plagues from textiles, relentless. I know a woman who darts holes into wholeness, relentless. I know my body is a vessel, my home is a vessel, my daughter is a vessel, my mouth is a vessel, my mother is a vessel, my vocabulary is a vessel, my double is a vessel, my heart is a vessel spilling, relentless. The fields are vessels, the silos are vessels, the clouds are vessels, relentless. Time is a vessel, relentless. A seed is a vessel, a bridge is a vessel, relentless. What do you carry, relentless? What do you carry that you can't let go of, relentless? What lives in your body, relentless? I know waiting is a kind of prayer, relentless. I let the scales fall from my eyes, relentless. I vanish into the foreground, relentless. It can only come in if you invite it in, relentless. Thank you.
Thank you, Danika. I'm exhausted. Paul Dickinson is a product of the St. Paul Public School System. He holds an MFA in creative writing from UMass Amherst, where he studied with Pulitzer Prize-winning poet James Tate. He has appeared in these films: The Last City in the East, 2011, Tired Moonlight, 2015, and Lake Street Detective, 2017. His latest book, Junker Dreams, an automotive memoir, has just been released on Audible. Paul Dickinson.
All right, thank you. Thanks for being here. I don't know what you've done to deserve this, but let's get started. I know it's Thursday, but this poem's called TGIF. Yes, 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 it was a terrible job. Loading packages into semi-trucks. And the vending machine was my only friend. She was so sweet. She provided me with Kit Kats, Pop-Tarts. She was my confidant. I told her all my trials and tribulations. And then one Friday, it was payday. And when I was getting change for a bag of peanuts, she said to me, I want you to talk that woman you fancy into riding on the back of your motorcycle. I want you to cash today's paycheck and never return to this place. All right. This one is called Don't Listen to the Oldies with a Broken Heart. Don't listen to the oldies with a broken heart. Those old doo-wop dudes, they might be dead or living off a royalty check somewhere in Florida, but they see right through you. And that falsetto, it just cuts you to the quick. And the facts are laid bare. You didn't get the girl. You don't have plans for Saturday night. You're not going to a sock hop. You're not surfing, and you're not going to a drag race. Yet you just turn that shit up as loud as it will go. All right. Next poem's called Bullshit and Bluster. Bullshit and bluster. It is the glue that holds the two together. And when you're on top of the world, it just oozes out of you. And when you hit rock bottom, it's all you got left. Now the world is full of psychology books and pricks with PhDs. But don't all the problems in this world come down to a person being lonely? Now you could try to be a tough guy, but that will never last. Because one day you're going to break down and weep uncontrollably in the Taco Bell drive-thru. Bullshit and bluster. It is the glue that holds the two together. Thank you. All right. This one's called I Have Robots Doing My Work. I have robots doing my work. They are programmed with my exact pride and jealousy and endless desire to be wanted. I have robots doing my work. They project tiny images of you on your bicycle onto tiny television screens. I have robots doing my work. They drink like fish, lose ballpoint pens, drive over the sidewalk, and listen to cassettes in ancient boom boxes. I have robots doing my work. All right, this one's called Liberties Are Made to Be Taken. Liberties are made to be taken, or freedom will never be found, as glaciers melt into a toxic orange sea. And play that fiddle, Nero, but pick up the pace a little bit. Play it more like a sober, pissed off Charlie Daniels. And Foucault, you rabid Frenchie, with your 99-cent words, your entire validation as a writer, sir, can only be validated if you can get this one loser laid. Thank you. Okay, this one is called Parts Car. Have you ever sold your car for parts? Have you ever scrounged your soul? Have you ever deconstructed your feelings down to the bone? Have you ever knelt on a cold garage floor and prayed to an angry Irish Catholic God who has every right to be angry? Have you ever sold your car for parts? All right, this one's called I and I-94. Oh, I and I-94, the root of the rotten, the finest test monkey track of the nation. Oh, I and I-94, survive. We keep on driving through intoxication and rage, and through those pelting hail of memories that hit the windshield. Oh, I and I-94, survive. All right. Guys are doing great. Only 800 more poems. I mean, you're doing great.
Keep going.
I hope you like Beowulf, set to a jazz beat. That's what's next. But anyways, this one's called All My Steak Knives Are Stolen. All my steak knives are stolen. I'm sorry, they felt so good in my hand. As I looked into your eyes and made my demands that you love me till the day I die, or at least call me late at night when you're drinking white wine. Okay. This is another obnoxious one. This one's called My car is parked right outside this door. Yeah, I'm here at this bar. Do you see me? Do you see what I see? B-grade athletes, mommy's little monster, psychopaths, bedwetters. Let me tell you, none of these dudes would burn their hands fixing your exhaust. Or drive 80 miles to an ice storm just to see your face. Or sell a bunch of computers to Nigerians to make money to take you someplace nice. Or, write a drum solo that's actually a tribute to the curve in your neck. My car is parked right outside this door. All right, I'm gonna cool us down with some winter poems now. I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed that fake winter we had. But yeah, just means it could be 200 degrees in July. This one's actually called Winter. I bask in the glow of a 75-watt bulb, and I launch a daydream that does you justice. Mexico City hurls itself around you. The smog is just sweet at tree level, and the hotels hum a steady curse into the night. Please be careful. Don't fall in love. Don't get hit by a car. Back here in the collapsing fishbowl of this town, where commuters swerve from one accident to another, the planet is rusty on its axis as it rotates 1 more hour towards the night. All right, this one's called I'm All Alone in This Crappy McDonald's. I'm all alone in this crappy McDonald's, and I shall live forever. I shall outlast every bird on a wire looking at me. I shall outlast every packet of ketchup stomped on by a random brat. I shall outlast all these crappy cars in this parking lot. I'm all alone in this crappy McDonald's, and I shall live forever. Right. This one's called Screwdriver. It is another winter poem. My car hits a telephone pole. Now I'm awake. My mind follows my hands as I grab a screwdriver out of the glove box. I pry off the license plates and the VIN number and throw them in the storm sewer. At this point, it's impossible to apologize for my life. The wet snow is everywhere, unstoppable. Trucks growl their diesel hearts on close yet unseen freeways. I gather up every pen, penny, and unmailed letter I can find in the car, and I look over my shoulder as I walk towards work, thinking of all the lies I need to tell. All right, just a couple more. This one's called I Like the Way You Tilt Your Head. I like the way you tilt your head. It's a tiny gesture really, but it means the world to me. I like to get inside there and do a little dance inside your skull, show you all the reasons why I should be your special one. But if men understood women and women understood men, there'd be no rock and roll, there'd be no poetry, and there'd be little use for guys like me. But there I go again, I went off the deep end when I could have just as easily said, I like the way you tilt your head. All right, you've made it. This is the last poem, I promise. It's called This is an Emotional Poem. This is an emotional poem because the bayonets of loneliness, yeah, they will stab you. They will hold you to the ground. Sorry, this is a sexual poem. We finally do it. Your cat hates me. And I'm lying in bed smoking a Pall Mall, and I'm thinking like a caveman thinks. And the caveman thinks, dear God, I hope she can make a decent cup of coffee. Well, actually, this is a political poem. As I drive my 75 Dodge Dart all the way down to Florida, whip some shitties in the front lawn, and I punch Donald J. Trump in the face. Actually, this is an action poem. Because after 2 hours, I finally bust myself out of the trunk of a late model Nissan. And I stand there in some godforsaken industrial area and I say, I'm never ever going to Minneapolis ever again. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul Dickinson. Chelsea DesAutels is the author of The Dangerous Place, Sarah Books, 2021. which was named a New York Times Editor's Choice. Her work appears or is forthcoming in Bennington Review, Cincinnati Review, Coppernickel, Plowshares, The Southern Review, and elsewhere, and has been featured on the Slowdown podcast. Chelsea has received fellowships from the Anderson Center at Towerview, Breadloaf Writers Conference, Tin House Summer Workshops, and Yaddo, among others. She lives with her family in Minneapolis and is the founder of Freshwater Writing. Chelsea DesAutels.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you, Paul and Midstream, for having me, and Ezra and Paul and Danika. It was really great to hear your work. I'm going to read just a couple poems from A Dangerous Place, and then I'm going to read primarily work from my manuscript in progress. Among other things, A Dangerous Place is about the experience of having a pregnancy-caused cancer diagnosis that was also mistaken for a pregnancy for a period of time. And one of the things that meant is I had an infant at the time, and that meant that my breast milk became toxic, so I suddenly couldn't feed her anymore. And so this is a poem about that. It's called Song of the House by the Lake, and it's loosely crafted after C.B. Wright's Song of the Gourd. In the north I burned cedar, smoked out the ghosts, wrung my neck with baby teeth and rope. In the north summer leaves turned early, yellow and oak red. My breast swelled like gathering thunderheads. I scraped window panes, kicked on the heat. Ice fishermen drilled holes to what swam beneath. In the north, my breast swelled like snake bellies. Midwives said, use cabbage leaves. In the north, I went looking for mouths, found weeds instead. Doctors forked my knees, took a shovel and dug. In the north, I buried 2 birds wrapped in a rug. In the north, I couldn't hold what I birthed. I tore down backyard retaining walls, ate beetles unearthed. Fake owls kept watch. Canoes went unused. In the north, something uninvited grew. I prayed to plastic bags. Seeds sprouted heads. In the north, my body rearranged itself. I pulled deer ticks from the back of a thigh, swallowed soil and gravel. No one asked why. In the north, there was no time to wean, no time to explain. My grief, the neighbor's broken weather vane. In the north, smoke rose from an empty fireplace. Out the window, winter blew. In the north, I willed my breast to withered stone fruit. And then this one is called Annual Migration. After 3 days of rain, this morning is streaked as golden as the thin crust on the baguettes at the bakery down the road from where I'm walking. Watching the swallows descend on the cattail tops, which are all rushing a bit southeast in the wind. The maple nearby, the only one reddening its leaves this early in the season. The baby is wrapped to my chest. I've walked as far as I can today. Overhead, a skein of Canada geese marks the inevitable decline of temperatures, a great continental journey. I didn't know what motherhood would feel like. One day she just appeared, and all the ancient wooden joints in my heart clicked into place. The whole thing started thrumming. And now, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to leave the cancer out of this poem. She's soft as goose feather, fast as a fleet of sparrows, unpredictable as the flash of cardinal in the reeds. Okay, so this manuscript in progress is currently called Someone Else's Life. And this poem is indeed called Someone Else's Life. The Easter weekend we spent in Austin in the nice hotel with the pool. Him and me lounging with margaritas while the girl, still too young to swim, made a new friend and splashed in the shallow end. I felt as if I were living someone else's life, and I liked it. Walking up to the sleek bar with my big sunglasses and ordering a plate of chicken strips and ranch. I don't know what it means that I seem most real to myself when I pretend I'm a character in a story that isn't mine. The next morning, actual Easter, we burned our shoulders wandering paths of a wildflower sanctuary. a pit stop on the long drive home, only to realize we'd left her beloved rabbit with its torn ear and graying fur at the hotel. Already too far along to retrieve it, I rushed through the sanctuary gates, past the flowers to the gift shop, and bought a small stuffed bunny. We told the girl it was her rabbit's baby, asked her to name it, to take care of it. And she held that bunny so tenderly I thought I might break. As we drove, the onslaught of papers to grade and clementines to buy and peel, dog hair collecting under kitchen cabinets, the strange loneliness again at the edges, all the while soft snoring from the back seat. I raised my eyes to the big Texas sky and asked not for a new life, but to be a new person in this one. To be a woman who lives happily in her body and not only in her imagination. If the sky heard me, it didn't say. Maybe it knew that years later, on another Easter Sunday, I'd miscarry while browning a tenderloin and wearing a Mom of the Year t-shirt the girl gave me. Even as the events were unfolding, I saw their irony. The disappearing child, the cave of me. Oh, Texas sky, I think I was wrong. I think sometimes a woman does need to leave her body, needs to float in the mind where any animal can replace a lost one, and finding a cave empty isn't the end of the story. Oh, sky, oh, cave, can't you see how alone I am in this body? This one is called Dear, and then it's just empty brackets, so Dear blank. I feel tenderly towards you this morning. A small blue bowl dropped years ago by careless hands in a kitchen in Spearfish or Aberdeen, a riverine crack at the seam no one stopped to glue, and thus a childhood impossible to hold, a little leak forever keeping you from full. It is not our fault when we break young. We walked along the Charles once and then the ocean eating oysters. I followed you to London, we ate tartare, the sky was raw with stars. I was always a little nervous. Your hunger was like red pigment hitting wet paper, vibrant beyond measure, but the rest washes out, runs to the perimeter. I carried your color even as I fled. How could you have been any different? We love as we were loved. Stars live in gravitational families until one consumes another. I've heard the sun will swallow Earth. It's a system, I guess, ancestry. This is a poem I wrote after reading Alyssa Gonzalez's new book, Grand Tour, which is sort of built in these essayette style of poems. So this is sort of after that. And it's called Missing My Grandmother at an Artist Colony. Under a ceiling made of fur, I sit at a desk in front of a window the size of the desk. Easily, I could tip through the glass to the frozen pond below, cut by sun on snow and the stretching shadows of evergreen, each line a threshold of absence. Except where I am, farther up, facing east, there is no absence. It is afternoon, and the sun fans the forest uninterrupted. The light simply falls. Are you returning to me? Everyone is talking of the manner of light, especially the artist who says she tends to many truths in one frame. She paints a window into a window into a window, like generations. The center of her frame is a clear passage from a bedroom through glass and glass until finally a flower, which is what? A child? I am not disoriented. I have seen this concept before in art museums and the dining table, where we women were once a row of four, each of us an open pane to the next, a tunnel for the old ache. And where now are you? The light shifts, grows longer. On the far shore of the pond, open water. I understand you loved me differently than your daughter does. Perhaps she loves me as you loved her, with a bit of shadow. A moss green stump emerging on the hillside. I am trying to unfasten myself from the pain that began 90 years ago, girl in black top shoes, Wyoming. Or before you, a small ranch, or beyond, a sea, a child born under a thatched roof. There is the truth of a mother and the truth of a daughter. To peel back the red paint to the center. Will you walk with me tonight? The stars here are plenty. I wear your blue dress and snow boots, move sideways to keep my balance on my way to water. I still have your voicemail, and the artist has loaded her work into a trunk. To mark dinner, a chime of bells. I remember the photograph I took of your hands, folded, your golden ring. Quiet sun low in trees, a white tangerine. I must return, I suppose, to the others. Come with me, they are done with light, and speaking now only of scene. This is one in a series of 3 so far, prose poems sort of thinking about girlhood and shame. This one is called I Called My Shame. I called my shame a mother, grifter, deadwood, fire. I called it black water, fool's gold, worthless silt, nail in a truck tire. I told my shame you're on thin ice, roadkill. I shook its shoulders, I said, get it the hell together. I told my shame it would never be a plum, whole, unbroken, unbitten. My shame was rotten and I knew it. Apple even the deer wouldn't touch, bloated, gnatted, orchard probably disgusted. My shame listened up. My shame was in perilous condition. My shame needed help. My shame couldn't reach the counter or feed itself. I felt a little bad. My shame was kind of sweet. I told my shame it could hide with me. I brushed its hair. I shared my socks. We lived in a basement of tough love and dial-up. My shame got good grades. My shame kept the room clean. My shame kept a secret like a crow with a coin. Overfull recycling. We didn't like the yelling. I remember eating ham sandwiches in our bedroom alone. Let's see here. Okay. Some half-worlds. What can I say about how the snow is falling this morning, almost imperceptibly? I am a long way from the people I love. Distance, I'm discovering, is better in the imagination, though my imagination has been weak lately, caught in some half-world between memory and creation, either one a truer planet than this moon I've been hauling around. The sun crawls up the horizon and the light in the forest shifts, a pale white making space for the day's drama. I force myself to recall the man with the sharp chest hovering above me in a hotel room years ago. No matter how I try, I can't remember what happened after I woke and said stop. I see only a taxi door closing, and the next morning, snow on wet streets, an instinct to turn in on myself, to make of myself a hard, small marble. It would be a miracle to see you right now, my beloved writes. It's true, I am far away. A habit which, I understand, has been a mistake. And the last poem is called The Deer. She'd slept too long. The morning sun had thinned by the time she pulled the thick curtains from the bedroom window. Below, Paris, Oslo, Lima, if only. She steadied her feet on the smooth floor and reached for the blue blanket to wrap around her shoulders on the way to the bathroom. She was losing it a little alone in the woods. She was not keeping a schedule and she was not happy with the work. She felt like the gray pipe at the end of the pond, waterless, pointless. The attention it drew on account of its wasted utility, garish. She was of the mind to climb inside it. She could have a nice nap. Instead, she took another yellow Post-it. Feed the goats, she scratched with a pen, and on a second, build a boat, and added them to her wall of alternatives. She went for a walk. She remembered a deer she'd seen as a child, how it seemed like a god had taken shape to check in on her. That had been a good day, the way she and the animal had watched one another, not stiffly. Perhaps she'd write about it. The work had gotten somewhat dark. The deer could help. Her heroine could find the deer as if in a dream, and then escape the castle that she herself had built. The deer could lead her out. And so she didn't think twice when she passed the metal pipe. The day was brightening. The heroine would forgive herself. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. So first of all, I have a sign-up sheet for folks who are not on the Midstream mailing list who would like to be. We only send out 2 a month, so hopefully not too much of a burden. Second, Unity Unitarian provides this space to us for free. Obviously, it's not free for them. You're under no obligation, but we will make you feel terribly guilty. So, if you will. Okay. Ezra David Pattis is a writer and graphics artist from Minneapolis. He is the recipient of the fiscal year 2024 Minnesota State Arts Board Grant for Creative Individuals, the 2024 Comics Advocacy Group Mini Grant, and the 2023 Athenaeum Comic Arts Spring Microgrant for Early Career Cartoonists. His writing as a comics critic recently appeared in the 2024 Eisner-nominated publication Sorad, and he will use his State Arts Board funding to teach a free-of-charge remote comics workshop this August. Ezra David Pattis.
Hello. If you could tell from that bio, I'm a cartoonist, so I have comics for sale back there. What I'm going to be reading for you today is literary fiction. And if you don't like my writing, Paul is my dad, so you can just blame nepotism. All right. This is the first chapter of a little novella called Daddy Longlegs. Chapter 1 is called Snake, Memory, and Rotation. The Nokia 3210 comes with 3 entire games pre-installed. The girl's got a shiny aftermarket fascia attached, a swirling red wood grain pattern that will disappear from new commercial objects in less than a decade. She plays Snake first thing in the morning. Today, before the convention, her mother interrupts her game with a phone call that her daughter can't understand the urgency behind. Mom had a nightmare, apparently. Sharon Tate was chasing her around the Linden Hills Co-op with a butcher's knife. Tonight, on the far end of 2 queen beds, she has Tonight, on the far end of 2 queen beds, stands the teenage daughter with white hairs on her chin. Her eyes are so brown that they're nearly red. She has bone-thin legs till the thighs, where her body becomes massive right up to her head. A vein in her neck, drawn like a child's best interpretation of seaweed, squiggles as she masticates hotel chocolates. She is a vegetarian with teeth that grow continuously, gigantic in the front with a gap between her incisors and the canines. If you pulled back her lips, you'd find another great distance from there to her hurting wolf teeth and browning molars. This room is a disoriented blur between lilac and overcreamed coffee. Above each bed is a duplicate painting of a lake, themed after Minnesota's 10,000 and under count by 1,000 lakes and change, but not corresponding to any particular lake as far as our hero is aware. She's idled in many hotel rooms in many places, some of them very expensive, and she has hated every last one of them. She's angling her chestnut snout towards the window and the blue summer night beyond. She has forbidden Ari and Avi from letting the air conditioning out, but secretly yearns for a drink of the muggy outdoor air. This is a standard smoking room at the Bloomington Radisson South. Ari said something about Coca-Cola on his way out the door, and Avi's on the far bed, acting like he's about to light the pipe he's been chewing on since she met him in line for badges. "Horse," he says to her, "if this thing doesn't light, I'm gonna kill myself." The animal whites of Horse's eyes flash. The animal whites of Horse's eyes flash as she takes a look at him over her shoulder. It did not previously occur to her that the pipe might be functional. Avi's anachronistic purple Bic is sparking but not producing any flame. Presumably to improve his task concentration, he takes off his stiff leather hat and gentleman's gloves. Thus emerges the punishment of blue-white scalp and wavy red hair on Avi's pronouncedly sloped and bobbling head. Horse has no recourse, she feels, but to attempt to eroticize these dull little revelations. The hairline's the wrong shape, but the fact of its receding reminds her enough of Gilly von Barton in Blighted Sockets that the tip of her hoof begins carving idle half-moons in the hotel room carpet. Barton's ridiculous character, Daddy Longlegs, with his 70s BBC science fiction program makeup, is the human apex of sex by Horse's detailed scholarly assessment. A teenager might spot an oasis of desire anywhere, especially inside a truly dog-shit television program. Carrying on, Horse can draw a line between any regular horror and Barton, and she daily walks that tightrope on 4 shaking stick legs. Barton is here, at the hotel, for the inaugural science fiction convention happening across the hall. His panel appearances begin tomorrow. Horse has carefully constructed an impression for the benefit of her new friends that she is just a fan, like them. This is only partway true. Most people, when they learn who her mother is, do not believe it at first. If Avi is dressed as someone specific, he's projecting suburban Renaissance, Eden Prairie philosopher, no names have been given. His thumb's press and repress on the lighter has begun to waver by the time Ari reappears with as many sodas as fit under his armpits and between his elbows. Ari's got the room key in one hand and a lit cigarette in the other. "I need your lighter," Avi tells him as he throws down the dud. He laughs. "Why didn't you knock?" "No, guys, no," Ari says to the room. "You won't believe what I heard out there." He releases the cascade of Pepsi products onto the bed with Avi. "It's awful, like..." He trails off, fishing for his lighter in the crossbody satchel anybody else might have put the sodas in. He tosses an identical purple Bic in an automatic way that signals to Horse how many times they must have shared. Hot, she thinks, as Avi catches it. "What happened at the soda machine?" she asks as she approaches Ari's offering hand with the room key in it. She takes it between her teeth and deposits it atop the TV console where she alone can reach. Ari explains an aside toward the smoke now pluming from the bed. "I didn't knock, because it takes as many hands to knock as it does to open the door, you doodlebug." "We could have been fucking," Avi sputters back before a cough punches out of him. He wheezes through it. "You fucking doodlebug dickhead, you antlion larva." A surge of affirmation as plausible betting option has Horse showing teeth for a brief and stupid moment while neither boy is looking at her. The rush quickly halves into ambivalence. She whinnies as she concurrently prays and dreads to be noticed, her front legs doing an unconscious trot in place. "I'm not waiting for you to dismount," Ari groans, dragging on his cigarette and parting Avi's cloud with a forceful rush of his own smoke. Horse yearns again for the window and stares back towards the spot she walked from, through to the other side of the glass and into the sticky blue, into the Radisson parking lot soup. The second bed creaks as Ari sits himself down on it, followed by the crackle of a soda can opening. Horse watches his Adam's apple move, backlit by the harsh reading light between the beds as he drinks. He finally begins his story with, there were these girls looking for a ride back to Edina. Ari is about the same size as his companion. That is to say, the pair of them could be swept away by the same hawk. Horse has not yet figured out if they are brothers. If they are, Ari got the Mediterranean diasporic Sephardic phenotype, while Avi got the peel and stick glow in the dark. The both of them are generously nosed and well bearded. This reminds Horse of her father, the 800-pound minotaur tormented in a labyrinth for eternity per the divorce agreement. Set silent inside the beaded purse she wears around her neck, she does not notice her father's phone contact lighting her cellular green. "Fuck Edina," Avi scoffs. "Just tell him you're drunk." He's suggesting, as if he can send the message back in time to affect the outcome of Ari's ongoing anecdote. Ari confirms, "I told him I was drunk," and Avi giggles maniacally either at the psychic intervention or tedious predictability. Ari goes on, "They said that wasn't a big deal. Like there's nobody on the highway anyway, but I just shut it down as politely as possible. I think they could tell I was bluffing." "Were they dressed up?" Avi asks around his pipe, using both blue-veined hands to clasp a perspiring Pepsi can. There are still 4 unclaimed sodas rolling around near his freckled feet on the bed, where Horse dares not lower her face. Okay, Ari gestures between the both of them with his cigarette, then sucks it down like fuel for the part of the story he's excited about. His affect changes as he exhales, something serious settling over him and causing him to set his drink on the nightstand, no coaster, Horse's mother paid for the room, no coaster, and lean back till he hits the sheet. He takes another drag towards the ceiling, only the knees of his leather pants facing Avi and Horse. So they were Lola and Mirror Lola, Ari continues from his back. And obviously I'm not an expert, no, but yeah, they look like quality cosplays. So I complimented them and said, like, me and my friends back in the room are big Blighted Sockets fans. Like, I told them the story about Avi's ringtone standing in line this morning, and they were talking a little bit about the show, but they seemed, I didn't know if it was me or, I don't know, they seemed wigged. I mean, they were wearing wigs, but they seemed wigged, freaked out or something. Avi's leaning in now, no longer possessed to interject. Beside Ari's bed, the horse arranges herself into a seated position on the carpet and lays her chin down on the mattress edge. She huffs and settles in for Ari's tail, as her own tail sweeps idly back and forth against the floor. She assumes, numbly, that the story is going in Barton's direction. Mom's Netscape bookmarks are full of fan forums where Horse has passionately dictated while Mom types, transcribing page-long campaigns defending Barton's honor against the assembled unfeeling multitude. Mom's accounts, pseudonymed, scrubbed, and puppetized, are routinely booted for forum etiquette violations. Only sometimes does Mom need to strategically reveal her identity to get a new email invitation. These collaborative writing sessions are Horse's happiest memories. They buoy her, even when she hasn't got the nerve to speak up face-to-face on Barton's behalf. Ari sits on his elbows and looks her in the eye. I guess they were talking to Gilly Von Barton and, Horse's lashes, the same color as her body, bat. Ari carries his cigarette to his mouth, but doesn't touch it with his lips, like he's forgotten how to complete the gesture. He curls forward to tap it into the ashtray on the nightstand, speaking plainly. Catherine Bettinger died, like an hour ago. Horse remembers the Nokia 3210 she's carrying in the bag around her neck. 3 games come pre-installed: Snake, Memory, and Rotation. She put her phone on silent while she was waiting in line for a badge to the inaugural Convergence 1999 event, only to be startled by the sound of her custom ringtone. Her ears flicked in the direction of the tinny AMR of Blighted Sockets' theme song, not towards her bag, but to the man behind her. Surrounded by strangers, Avi answered his phone on speaker. Ari had been the one calling, asking for his friend to save him a spot in line as he tried to get his truck out of some Dinkytown student parking fiasco. Horse doesn't need to look now to know that her father has been trying to reach her for an hour. She's been cooped up in this hotel room, waiting on Pepsi she doesn't even want from boys she hoped might be easy targets for extracting romantic rehearsal time. She only wanted to fantasize about the TV show Catherine Bettinger was on before Horse was born, about her co-star Barton and his dishwater blonde hairline like the letter M. Holy shit, Avi says. She's young, right? Was young? Horse asks, is Barton still here? What the fuck happened? Avi asks. She was like in her 40s, Ari answers. It's so fucking sad, and like, imagine being dressed as her, and then you find out, I mean, Jesus. Horse, I have no idea where Barton went. I think the Lolas said he was walking to his car. Avi asks again, what the fuck happened? Horse murmurs into the top sheet. She drowned, not knowing it's true until it's falling out of her mouth. The first attempt, when Horse was 8 years old, occurred hours after Mom told her to bury the kitchen knives in the yard behind their place on Summit Avenue. Horse obeyed, and Mom lay down in their Minotaur-dug pond anyway. Horse had schlepped her out by the blackened nightgown, the glamorous Mrs. Catherine Bettinger seized up and spitting scum, taking her first raggedy inhale to insist it did not happen, and to beg Horse not to tell her co-stars or her fans. She drowned, Horse says again with her head lifted. She drowned. Avi squints at her and asks with a cigarette in his mouth and a can in his hand, how did you know that? Horse is standing. She's backing through the narrow hotel till her butt's touching the door. Horse is whinnying. She's shaking her mane. She's tearing up bits of carpet with her hooves. The boys are dropping their Pepsis and cowering. Horse is charging at the window and leaping straight through it, bursting into the night in a torrent of glass, ripping a hole through the center of the universe, to reach Jill Yvonne Barton before he disappears down I-494 east towards St. Paul. She lands in a sprint through the Bloomington Radisson parking lot.
Thank you, Ezra. So let's have a hand for our readers. Dan Dickinson, Paul Dickinson, Trustee Supervisor. Okay. There are books to purchase in that corner, and people should purchase them, or at least browse them heavily. Let's see. Next month's reading will be July 11th. The host will be Diane Jarvinpaugh, and the readers will be Patricia Barone, Mary Kay Rummel, Stanley Kuzunoki, and Scott Louder. We often get together at Sweeney's. I don't know what direction that is from here. To drink and talk. If you do go, the room in the back, much quieter. What else? You can check out our website, midstreamreadingseries.wordpress.com. You can send us email at midstreamreadingseries@gmail.com, and we do have a YouTube channel. You can just search for Midstream Reading Series on YouTube, and tonight's reading and previous readings will be available shortly. Thank you all, and good night.